Hi, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this is your first time here, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like this video. Let me know that you're watching. My name's Maddie Wade. I'm going to teach you a makeup tutorial today. What we're going to be doing is I'm going to do my eye combination with you. I'm also going to do a quick brow tutorial. I'm going to use a little bit of blush and highlighter, and then I'm also going to do a lip tutorial. So these are the colors that we're going to be using. So you can see here, this is the highlighter, this one's the blush, these are the eyeshadow colors, and then I've got my lip colors, and I've got my mascara and the brow pencil and all the other things that we're going to be using today. So this is such a good combination, I think, for the holidays. It's just nice and light. It's not too dark, but it is going to be really pretty for maybe a Thanksgiving look, or like I said, a holiday party that you might be going to, an everyday makeup look. So it's not too complicated. It's not too dark either. We are going to use multiple eyeshadows. I like to use multiple eyeshadows though to get the look that I like. So just because I'm going to use 6 eyeshadows today does not mean that this look is going to be overpowering. It's going to be super dark, smoky eye, anything like that. You can see it is nice and light. So even though we're using 6 eyeshadow colors, it is not going to be complex, and it's also not going to be too dark for your everyday look. So here we go. We're going to get started. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do my blush and my highlighter. And the reason I want to do that is because I do kind of want to put, so you can see this highlighter is really up kind of high today, and the reason I wanted to do that is I wanted to lift my blush, and that means I lift my highlighter. So I do have a little bit of contour right here, so my contour is already on right here. I want that blush to sit right on top of my cheekbone, so we're going to do the same thing over here on this side. So that's what we're going to get started with today. So let me get my cheek brush out. Here's my cheek brush. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pick up this blush, and the blush color is Desert Rose. The blush is going to be kind of more of a matte color, so it's not going to have a ton of shine to it, so that's where the highlighter is going to come into play. I always use a highlighter regardless if my blush has shine or not, but if you don't love a lot of shine, you can leave this all by itself as well. You don't have to add any shimmer to it. I always like a little bit of shimmer. I think it looks very youthful. It makes your skin look a little bit more glowy, a little bit more natural rather than such a matte look. I like that little bit of shimmer. So you can see I just put that blush right here. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to take my all over powder brush. So your brushes are going to be so important. Brushes are one of my favorite parts because they're such staples and they make or break your makeup look. So make sure you do have good brushes. All right, you can see I'm just kind of blending this all over. I'm even blending this along my eye. I'm even blending this along my eyebrow. So it just is nice and neutral, and it's also going to look really natural. All right, next I'm going to take my cheek brush. I'm going to kind of flip it. So I'm going to kind of use the like fan portion of this, and I'm going to pick up this highlighter. Here you go. All right, now I'm just going to put this right and kind of like a little bit of a C right here. So you can see I'm putting it right on top of my cheekbone, and I'm just bringing it right up above. And that's why I wanted to do my blush. I have stopped dyeing my hair, so you can see these like little tiny pieces that are growing in. They're so annoying, but I wish they'd stay back a little bit better, especially while I'm trying to do my makeup. Get out of my face. All right, so I'm going to take my brush again, my blending brush. Same thing. I'm just going to kind of blend this out, make sure everything's nice and natural, nice and blended. Okay, so you can see here, nice and shimmery. Kind of got that pretty shine to it, just like that side. So anyway, that's the blush and the highlighter combination. So that's what we're going to get started with. Next, I'm going to do my brows, and then I'm going to do my eyeshadow. So for my brows, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to brush up first, kind of creating the, like, how I want them to look. So you can see over on this side, they are very brushed out, so that they lay nice and flat. So then I can outline them with the brush, the brow pencil. So over here, you can tell I do not really outline my brows. I want them to look more natural. I don't like that super block brow look. That's just my opinion. I just don't like it on myself, so I don't ever do it. But I do add the brow pencil just to kind of define them and outline them a little bit so that they look very nice and like put together. However, they also look very similar to my natural brow as well. So I don't ever try to overdo it. I want them, like I said, to look a little bit more natural. So if you have spots that you need to fill in though, so you can see right here I have hairs where I'm kind of missing those, that's where this comes in really handy. And also if you want to just give it a little bit more definition, so you can see over on this side how it pops up a little bit higher than this one does, and that's just because I drew that in a little bit more. So let me go ahead and show you real quick. So the color I'm using right now is also Brunette. Whenever you're doing your eyebrows, I think the most important part is that you do tiny little dashes. So don't do a full line all at once. Just go ahead and do tiny little dashes right along the outer line. So I always start on the bottom and then I go up to the top. Same thing, just tiny little dashes. You can bring that little arch up a little bit higher if you want to. Okay. Just like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fill this in the front a little bit. So I am kind of missing a little bit of my hairs right there. I guess I wish it was I wish it came a little bit out a little bit more. So that's where I'm going to kind of fill that in. And now this part is where I kind of try to follow the natural brow hairs. So my hairs would go like this. So that's exactly how I'm going to apply this, is I'm going to apply it just as if it were a hair. So then if you do even see that mark, it's going to look more like a hair than it is an eyebrow pencil mark. So the tiny little dashes are going to be really key. So let me go over here and fix this one a little bit. Now that I put my makeup on in the bathroom and I did not have all this great lighting of my ring light. So now that I have this really good lighting, let me go ahead and fix this side a little bit too. So again, same thing, just kind of adding a little bit in that front area, right? Okay, so look at how it looks like they're little brow lines though. So that I think is the key to applying your eyebrow pencils, is making them look like they're little brow lines so that they don't look blocked or look like you have on a ton of eyebrow makeup. It also makes it very easy to do. All right, so now I'm just going to brush this out one more time. Just make sure, the reason I'm brushing it is just to make sure that I don't have any harsh lines. So if you do end up doing one that doesn't look exactly like a brow line, then you can go ahead and just brush this out. It's going to blend. And if you've watched my tutorials before, you know how much I talk about blending out your makeup and how important it is. Same thing goes for your eyebrows. So blending your makeup is not just important for your eyeshadows. It's not just important for your cheek colors. It's important for every single part of your makeup. Blending down your foundation, blending out your lip color, blending out your eyebrows, it's all important. It is the biggest tip I can ever give to a newbie starting with makeup, or if you're just looking for ways to make it a little bit easier to apply your makeup. Hands down, it's make sure you blend a little bit more than you think you need to. All right, so this now that I'm using is the brow tint. This is going to hold my eyebrows in place. This is also going to fill in any extra patches that I might have. So if you use a brow tint, I like it for those two reasons. But one, it is going to keep your eyebrows down and keep them in place. So if you have like wacky eyebrows that kind of stick out all over the place, this does help a lot with that. If you have patchy eyebrows, it's also going to help to kind of just fill in those little holes that you might have. So anyway, now my eyebrows are all done. Super easy. I only used 2 products, and both of the products that I used, the liner and the brow tint, I used in Brunette, and that just, it matches my hair color, so that's why I use that color. There's also blonde, dark blonde, brunette, and dark brunette, so there's lots of options for you to choose from, but brunette is the one that I feel like matches my coloring the best. All right, and if you need to be matched for that, just let me know. I can absolutely help you out. All right, we're gonna get started with the eyeshadow now. All right, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get started with my all over eyeshadow brush, and I'm gonna pick up Biscotti. So this is kind of like a creamy white color, and I'm really just gonna put this all over my eyelid. So before I came on live, before I recorded this tutorial, I should say, I had put on my face makeup. So I put on my foundation primer, I put on my foundation, which I used a Time Wise foundation today, so the 3D foundation, which is anti-aging. Then I put on that contour, which was Latte Contour. And then I just did this half of the face. So this half, and now I'm doing the rest of this half with you. But I did put the foundation on my eyelids. So that's going to act kind of as my primer today. So I did not do a concealer. When I do a concealer, that really brightens it up a little bit. Today I did not do that. So since I did not do that, it's really important that I use a brighter color before I get started, like Biscotti, to just kind of even everything out and make sure that it has that little bit of a brighter look to it. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eye smudge brush. I'm going to pick up Frozen Iris first, which is a sparkly light purple. Can you see that there? It's like a sparkly light purple. And I'm going to put that right underneath my eye here. I really need to use my mirror for a second. Okay, so I'm going to put that right underneath my eye. It's going to be kind of like the first color I'm going to use down here. I'm going to use a little bit of a darker color as well. But first I'm getting started with that Frozen Iris. Then I'm going to pick up Merlot. Merlot is darker. It's also matte. So I'm going to take this one next. This is going to add a little bit more of a darker color. You can see that nice dark pop underneath there, especially if you have brown eyes or blue eyes. I love to use purples. Oh my goodness. Don't stab yourself in the eye. Just get it nice and close. Okay. Just like that. All done there. All right, so like I said though, if you have brown eyes, if you have blue eyes, hazel eyes even, actually green eyes, purple is actually a very versatile color for lots and lots of different colored eyes. But for my brown eyes, it is one color that I do naturally gravitate towards a lot. I love purples. They do just kind of make your eyes pop a little bit. I really, really love to use them. I'm like a brown first. Purples would probably be my second option if I'm gonna pick. I like grays and things like that, but for my brown eyes, I really do prefer purples. I like pinks every now and then too, but browns and purples are my go-tos typically. All right, next what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my all over eye blending brush and I'm gonna pick up this one right here, which is Hazelnut. It's a kind of a lighter tan color. And we're going to get started with this right in my crease line. So you can see it's not a dark color at all. It's kind of a nice blended light color. I use this as a blending color. That's what I use it for. I love the light matte colors to use as blending colors because they are so easy to use, and then you just put more colors on top of them. So again, this is why we're using so many colors today, is because we are kind of using them to blend each other out. So we're not going to have any really dark colors or really any harsh colors. They're mostly going to be lighter colors that are just kind of blended together. The only dark color that I'm using today is Merlot, and we're just going to use a little bit of it. That's it. So right now we have used Biscotti on my entire lid. I've also used that Hazelnut right in my crease line. Next, I'm going to take the Frozen Iris, which again is that light purple. It's got that little bit of that shimmer to it. I'm going to put it in the same spot that I just applied the Hazelnut. So this is going to give it a little bit more of a purple tone, but we're really going to add in the purple when we add the Merlot too. So I'm just adding this right on top of that. You can always, there's two techniques to blending with your blending brush. You can do little circles like this to kind of blend everything out, or you can windshield wiper back and forth like this. It's up to what feels comfortable to you. I do kind of both of those. I kind of combine them and mix them together just to make sure that I'm getting the best blend possible. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my eyeshadow brush. This is my crease eyeshadow brush, and this is where I'm going to pick up the Merlot. So I'm going to grab this Merlot down here. I'm going to put it right along my lash line, and then I'm going to put it right in kind of a V formation, so right in my crease line. So I'm putting it in the crease and then right along the V, or right along the lash line to create a V, just like that. Okay, so just a little bit goes a long ways. So again, always add a little bit less color at first. You can always add more. It's definitely harder to take color off than it is to add color. So in this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and just do little circles to make sure that this is nice and blended out. I'm also going to run it right along my lash line to make sure that, again, it's nice and blended. You can see I'm focusing mostly on this half of my eye, so the outer half of my eye. I'm not blending this all the way into the inner corner. That will give you a darker look, and it might make you look like you have a little bit of like a black eye. So whenever you're adding darker colors, I do try to keep them to the outer portion of my eye as best as possible. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to add just a little bit more of this Frozen Iris right over the top of this just to kind of blend it out a little bit more. One thing I love about blending eyeshadows is how easy it is to blend with the shimmer eyeshadow. So a matte eyeshadow will stay very consistent the entire time. It does blend out nicely. I love these Chroma Fusion eyeshadows for blending. They blend so well. But one thing I really love to do is just add that little bit of that shimmer over the top, and it just takes away any harsh lines that you might have left. So you might not always catch them. Sometimes if you look in a different light, you might be like, oh, it's a little bit darker right there than it was over there, and I didn't quite blend that all the way. Using a shimmer shadow over the top will really help you to make sure that you don't have any of those little lines that you're like, oh shoot, I didn't get that quite all the way. So I do love to add a shimmer shadow over the top. You can always use, if you have fallout underneath your eye and you've used your makeup already, you've already put on your face makeup, you can always use the under eye corrector right underneath your eye. I already put that on when I put on my foundation. I forgot to tell you that when I listed off the things that I put on today. But you can always add that too right underneath your eye to clean any of that area up too. So if you ever have any fallout, don't be afraid to clean that up with your under eye corrector. All right, so there we go. Next, what we're going to do is I'm going to add the last two colors. So we still have not used Moonstone and we have not used Candlelight. So I'm going to take Candlelight first with my all over eyeshadow brush, and I'm going to put it right on my lid. So this is kind of like a neutral shimmer. It's not gold necessarily. It's more neutral than a gold, but it's got a really pretty, just kind of like warm tone to it. So I'm putting that right on my lid, and then I'm going to take the Moonstone and I'm going to put that right in the inner corner to highlight and brighten up that inner corner a little bit. You can always put this right underneath your brow bone too, which I did not do to that side actually. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my all over powder brush one more time and just blend. Just make sure that that Candlelight is all blended in, as well as the Moonstone. So that's my eyeshadow combination. Now we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of mascara. First, before I put on my mascara, I always like to curl my eyelashes. This makes a big difference because now my eyelashes will automatically have a little bit of curl to them. So then the mascara has something to like latch right onto instead of sticking straight out. So if you feel like your lashes do not have a natural curl to them, curling them ahead of time does make a big difference. Okay. And the mascara that I'm going to use today is Lash Fanaroma. I love the Lash Fanaroma mascara. It's really nice because it does lengthen and volumize at the same time. If you guys are just watching this video as I am posting it, so you're watching it the last weekend, well, the last week before Thanksgiving, then make sure you do check down below. I will have some links. I'm going to have my website linked down below so you can order any of these products, and you can order those anytime you're watching this video. But if you're watching it while I released it, then check out my website because I am going to be having a big sale. So if you're not part of my email list, join my email list down below. It has the information on what my pink weekend is going to be. So make sure, again, if you're not on my email list, you join that email list so that you can get all the information and be one of the first ones to know about what my deal is going to be this weekend. I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thanksgiving. I would love to hear down below too, what do you do for your Thanksgiving? Do you do something specific every single year? I know that's kind of what we do. We have family Thanksgiving with all different people, all of our families. So I'm married and we have my husband's family Thanksgiving. We have my family Thanksgiving. We have Thanksgiving with his grandparents, my grandparents as well. So there's always so much to be going on around the holidays. So I would love to know down below if you have some traditions that you also do for Thanksgiving. All right, this is going to be my last coat right now of that Lash Fanaroma. I'm going to go ahead and put that down, and we're going to do the lip combo next. So the lip combo that I have for you today is a lipstick and a lip gloss. You can always add a lip liner to this too. I love to use a lip liner underneath a lipstick just so it kind of outlines my lips, gives me a path to run on when I'm applying my lipstick. But today I'm just going to use the lipstick. So this is Downtown Brown. If you've never used this before and you've never heard of this before, it recently came back. It was a lipstick a long time ago, way before I joined Mary Kay. And they brought it back by popular demand because so many customers were asking for it again. So I did not use this before. I had customers ask me if this was still around. And I was like, no, I'm so sorry. It's not around anymore. I can offer you something that's close to it. But then they brought this back and so many of my customers have been so excited. So if you've used Downtown Brown before, tell me down below because I love it. I did not know how much I was gonna love it until we actually got it, but I love the shimmer and it's perfect for fall. Okay. It's just such a beautiful, like foily, shimmery lipstick. Again, it's perfect for the fall. I think it screams Thanksgiving and it screams fall time. So I really, really, really like it. So tell me what you think about it down below. And then I'm going to put over the top of it Unique Mauve, which is a lip gloss. And this lip gloss does not have any shine or shimmer in it. So it's actually going to tone down this little bit of shimmer that my Downtown Brown does give. It's going to give it that glossy look too. One really cool thing about these lip glosses and lipsticks is they both have vitamin E in them. So they're going to keep your lips nice and hydrated too. So you're not just having a really pretty lip color, you're also hydrating your lips. So I think there's nothing worse than when I put on a lipstick and I take it off and my lips are so chapped and they're so dry and I have to spend 2 or 3 days trying to rehydrate my lips. That's my least favorite thing. I don't like that at all. So I love that the lip glosses and the lipsticks actually provide the moisture in them as well. So anyway, this is the makeup combination today. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more mascara to this side. One more coat. I usually do 2 or 3 coats of my mascara. I'm just going to add a little bit down below too, right down here. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. Like I said, check down below, check out the links. My shopping link will be down there, the link to sign up for my email list. So even if you are watching this beyond when my pink weekend is happening, it's happening, I believe the dates are the 24th through the 27th of November, 2023. So if you are watching beyond that, make sure you still sign up for my email list because then you're going to get all of the information for my future promotions, my future classes, workshops, freebies that I'm offering, all the things, tips, everything. So thank you guys so much for tuning in with me today, and I'll see you back here next time. I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I can't wait to see you back next time. Bye!